What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 6. No, 8. 8, 8, 8. Episode 8. So anyway, Taylor and Chance. So Bobby is gone. Taylor's twin sister is gone because she overheard Chance and Taylor arguing over whether she could watch the kids or not. And, they're on the phone with her. And she's like, listen, that really hurt my feelings. I heard you talking, about the fact that I don't do anything and I can't watch the kids anymore. And Taylor was like, I didn't say that. Chance said that. And he feels really bad about it. And she was like, I heard it. You was talking. He was talking. Both of y'all had something to say. And I feel some kind of way about it. So they're calling her. She's not answering the phone. She's not responding. And they start realizing how much Bobby really did to take care of those kids. And Chance is feeling some kind of way now because they doing stuff that they wasn't having to do before because she was actually doing stuff even though Chance didn't realize how much she was doing. So they finally get in touch with her, or she calls them back, and she tells them, she says, listen, I don't like being in that house. I feel some kind of way about it. It's not just the fact that me and him getting into it. I don't like the fact that the two of y'all get into it. I don't like having to hear the way he talks to you and the way y'all argue. So rather than me continue to be a part of the problem, I'm going to just exit stage left. And I'm going to stay with some friends for a little while. But just so you know, I don't really like how, things are moving. I don't like the way he's talking to you. But, you handle it the way you feel like you need to handle it. All right. So then we have, can I just go ahead and get Kayla and Martell out the way real quick too? Because we only saw that whole little thing. So Martell is getting out of the halfway house, right? They done made up. She claims he apologized, but I don't believe he apologized because he said he wasn't going to apologize. And you tried your best to get that man to apologize. And he was like, listen, I apologize if you feel like I embarrassed you, but I ain't going to apologize for what I said because I said what I said and I meant it. And I don't believe he changed his mind. I believe that he said exactly what he said. But anyway, so then we see her going to a cleaning supply store and buy $300 worth of cleaning supplies because she was like, so this way he won't have no excuse. He won't have nothing to say because he's so OCD. And you went shopping with his cousin. Girl. You took one little argument about the stove not being wiped down and turned it into a whole storyline to the point where you spent $300 at a cleaning store. Like, that's a store where, like, cleaning supply companies go to buy their products. Girl, you got a 2-bedroom apartment. Are you... Moving on. So, Browin and Chaz. So, they done left. They're on their way to go to the park to get married. We find out that the reason why they're getting married is because for her to be able to move to Kentucky, it has to be either a family member or a spouse. And so that's a way for her to, as soon as she gets done with this parole situation, she'll be able to leave the state because her spouse will live in a whole nother state. So I'm glad that he's not moving to Washington, that the plan is for her to come to, where are they, in Kentucky? Or the plan is for her to come to Kentucky, but I don't know, bro. When I was giving you the benefit of the doubt last week, but now I'm kind of giving you the side eye, girl, because she said that she feel awkward and feel uncomfortable talking, kissing him, and she found all these excuses why she couldn't consummate their marriage because, child, they went to the park and got married. He had a whole car full of stuff for her, some UGG boots, an Apple Watch. He said that he probably done spent close to $10,000. He done gave her a credit card, talking about, well, a debit card, because he said he's going to add money to it. Which, on one hand, that's not too bad, because then he can control what she spends. It's not like a credit card that's just, like swipe, where you put money on it, but still, $10,000. Anyway, $10,000, child. But she talking about how she said, well, I thought because we've been talking for 3 years that I would just feel so comfortable with him and would feel like an old friend, but I just don't. It just feels so awkward. And I was like, see, those are all cold words. All of those are those cold words that's going to lead us to her not wanting to be with him. So they go to her parole officer when she has to check in, and Her parole officer is like, listen, you got out of jail 4 months early. As far as I'm concerned, you still a ward of the state, and you're going to do what I tell you to do. She's paroled to a guy's house, a friend of hers, father, or something crazy. And so, of course, Chaz feels some kind of way about the fact that his new wife is going to be living with some man that he don't know. And the man then told them that they can't have no hanky-panky at his apartment. And her parole officer told her she got to be checked in by 6 o'clock, which means that she can't spend the night at the hotel with her husband, even though he was like, you ain't even say even tonight, like, we can't consummate our marriage. And she was like, well, no, because, he feel like I need that nothing good happens after 6 o'clock, so I got to be home by 6 o'clock. I'm just wondering if that's exactly how that conversation went down. I'm feeling like Bronwyn is not really all that pressed or in a rush to consummate this marriage, and I don't know who this dude is that she's staying with and what that whole situation is, but it's very precarious to me. I don't know, I'm a little interested in the situation, child. Anyway, so we got Tiffany and Kevin. Listen, child, Tiffany meets up with an old friend from high school, and they go down to the tattoo shop to get a tattoo. I find it so interesting how these inmates be finding all this money for these tattoos. Tattoos are not cheap. They got all this money to go out here and get tattoos. I'm just a little, where are they? Whatever. So while they're at the tattoo shop, she tells her friend the story of what happened when Kevin tried to pick her up and Curtis was there and the fight. And she said, well, what did you do? She said, well, I left with the person who won the fight. I said, isn't that what I told y'all? Isn't that what I told y'all? Okay. So then the next day, Tiffany and Kevin are at the house and his phone. They're out there walking the dogs and his phone keeps blowing up. Well, he tells her, well, at first he wasn't trying to talk. She was like, well, who's on the phone? Let me just say this. Let me pause right here. I'm going to be going ahead and be honest with y'all. Can I just say this to y'all and be real honest with y'all? I know that Love After Lockup or Love During, whatever this is, I know that the producers set up a lot of storylines and a lot of scenes. It's been proven time and time again, right? Cool. Out of all of the storylines this season, this is the one that I believe the least. This is the one where the acting is so bad and so horrible that, for the exception of that punch where dude hit that concrete, because if the punch was fake, I feel like he would have broke his fall. And baby, his head hit that concrete. Minus that little situation. I don't know. The ex-girlfriend showing up at the house and her acting was bad, and it's just Kevin's acting is bad. Listen, but neither here nor there. Tiffany gets mad. Kevin tells her, listen, you wasn't talking to me while you was at the halfway house. I didn't know what was going on. You had a whole nother dude picking you up. Yeah, I got girls calling me. Yeah, I'm still talking to other girls because I didn't know what was up with you. You can't get mad at me because you did what you did. Baby, Tiffany goes back to that house and packs up her stuff and leaves. He was like, where you going? I don't know. Don't you worry about it. And so now she walking down the street with a big ass suitcase. She done left half her stuff back at Kevin's house talking about your other hoes can have it. I don't think his other hoes need what you got. I'm just saying. Anyway, they walking down the street. And that's how we ended up with Kevin and Tiffany Child. And I'm with Kevin on this one. How you gonna be indignant? You had a whole nother dude picking you up from the halfway house. You didn't even you didn't even talk to me while you was at the halfway house. You don't get to be indignant. You don't get to have an attitude with me, okay? At least that's how I feel about it. I'm with you on this one, Kevin. I'm with you on this one. So now we have Antoine and Lacy. So it's the next day. They had good sex. He said it was about a B, but he was surprised he lasted as long as he did because, he'd been locked up. So that was cool. She gets up and makes him breakfast, and they go about their day. So she's explaining to him why she got such an attitude about him calling his mom. Because she was like, the last time I was with your mom, she was really, really drunk, and I was worried that if you went over there, that you would get caught up in that, and that would just send you on, going down the wrong road, and it would just be a whole situation, and you would just be back, pretty much back to doing dumb stuff. And he was like, I just wanted to see my mom. Like, you got all of that from me wanting to see my mom? And she was like, yeah. Okay. So then she takes him out to play golf, like to like a little top golf situation. And he said he was a little nervous because remember he's nervous about being around people because he was in solitary for so long and he was locked up so long and in so much of a controlled environment. But he, he did it. She said, well, even though it's outside, are you still feeling some kind of way? And he was like, yeah, even though it's outside, but he did it. And they had a good time. They looked like they had a really, really good time. So then they're driving, and I don't know if this is the same day or not, honestly. I think it might be, though. But now they're driving, and she's like, well, I want to take you over to a friend of mine, the dealership of a friend of mine, and just, see about a car. Okay. I'm like, does he even have a driver's license? He went to jail for stealing cars, right? You're going to take him to a dealership where a friend of yours owns to try to get him a car? He's been out of jail for a day. Slow down. Slow down. She talking about something. I want him to have adult responsibilities. How about a job first? How about establishing a banking account, a checking account, a debit card? Like, there are other adult things rather than taking him to a car dealership to buy a car. Ma'am. What? So she gets a flat tire, which of course he said he don't know how to change no flat tire. And they got to wait for the AAA people. And the AAA people say it's going to be 2 hours. So they walk down to the dealership because they were right there at the dealership. He can't even take the car out on the test drive because he don't have a driver's license. All he can do is drive it around the damn parking lot. The car costs $5,000. Now, he got a couple of $1,000s because he got his PPP loan. I mean, his stimulus money because, they got their money too. It was just in an account. And she said, I'll give him a little bit of money to go with it because, I love him and blah, blah, blah. But then the dude was like, well, you're going to have to sign on this car. Like, it's great that he's got a down payment. It's great. But first of all, he still don't even have a valid driver's license. That's number one. Number two, he don't have no established credit. He been in jail for 3 years. Number three, I'm sure his credit score is some shit, okay? So even though he's probably only financing about $3,000, it don't matter. That is $3,000 that man want to make sure he get. So he tells them that she's going to have to co-sign on the car, and now all of a sudden it's, well, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I trust that. I don't know if I want to do that. And I'm with Antoine on this one. He said, well, why would you bring me here and get me all excited and then you don't want to follow through? I'm with him on that one. That made absolutely no sense to me that you would take him to a dealership knowing good and damn well that he probably cannot legit get a car in his name. You get him all worked up and all excited about getting a car and then say, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. What? So either A, you need to find a car that's only going to cost you $2,000, $2,500, somewhere in that ballpark that you could just pay cash for, or you might just have to wait a couple of months, get a job, save up some money, and then get $4,000 or $5,000. Because that didn't. So confused. That made no sense to me. So then we got Rick and Radine. Radine is getting out of the halfway house. They picking her up. They were late picking her up and she was mad. Which I don't blame her for being mad because, baby, she was standing outside in the cold with all her shit. So I understand why she was a little irritated. Rick is there with the family. They all up in the pickup truck. They go to get lunch, and Radine says that she only going to get her a salad. She said, if I could stay away from meat and processed sugar and this and this and that, then I could probably, ward off other temptations. So that's why I'm just going to be eating, food without all those things in it to just control my urges. And that's why, and her father was like, yeah, you had me. If you ever have an urge, you better call me. And she said, well, they gave me a number, somebody to call. He was like, you call me. And she said, well, I'm glad. That's why I'm glad that I'm going to be there in the house with you, because maybe that way I could just go down the hall. And her father was like, yeah, we worked really hard to provide a clean environment for you and a safe space for you where you don't have any temptations. And Rick talking about something, well, I mean, I worked really hard to create a safe space for you too, and you could still come and stay with me, and she was like, well, no, I want to stay with my dad because I just really feel comfortable there, and I really feel like my dad will have my back if something's going on. And he just kept pressing the issue, well, you can't stay with me. Well, I mean, I really wish you would stay with me. Rick, bruh, you have served your purpose. Whatever that purpose was, whether it was money, whether it was companionship, whether you were helping her parents out, whatever your purpose was, bro, you have served it. You are persona non grata. Her father don't look like he all that pressed about having you around. She ain't all that pressed about having you around. Um, Later on that night, she won't even come back and spend the night with you because she said she really didn't want to have sex with you because you keep bringing up Kate, and it makes her uncomfortable. And when I want to be with you, I want to be with you, and I don't want to have to worry about Kate. Kate is very important to me, and Kate's going to always be a part of my life, and he's just going to have to figure out a way to deal with it. And Rick is like, I'm trying to figure out a way to deal with it, but I don't like it, and I don't want to share you. Rick, you're not going to win this one. And I'm going to tell you why you're not going to win this one, Rick. One, you're not going to win this one because she's just not that into you. She's just not interested, bruh. But the second reason why you're not going to win this one is because the family is not on your side. I don't know what it is about you that you have irritated, pissed off, or just flat out turned her family off. But daddy is not feeling you. Now, I feel like the stepmama is giving all of this a side eye. But daddy is specifically not feeling you, bruh. Let it go. Cut your losses. Get on your bike, go down to the nearest, go down to your bike hangout, find you a little hottie down to the bike hangout, and get you what you need to get because she ain't it. Nope, she not the one, boo. Sorry, hate to be the one to tell you, but she ain't the one. Anyway, that's it. That's all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.